Hi, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Moon. My name is Bobby from Wild Raven Tarot.
My name is Ramon from the Moon Scarab channel.
Hello, my name is Selena from Essence of the Moon, and next to me we have the incredible Karen Kubicko, who is just absolutely an incredible human being. And all of my past lives and all of my memories of them and everything I've been able to come up with is all thanks to her. So I'm super excited to have her here. So thank you, Karen, for coming joining us on Behind the Moon and kind of talking about past life sessions and then my recent past life session that we did together. So thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was very
Thank you,
fun.
Selena. Thanks for inviting me on your show. I really do appreciate that, all you guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I want to say hi to a few people before we jump into the fun stuff. We've got a wonderful tribe that supports us. We are broadcasting on all three of our channels, the Moon Scarab channel, Wild Raven Tarot, and Essence of the Moon. So we've got several people with us tonight, I'm noticing. Let's say hi to a few. Miss Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition.
Hey, Nancy.
Hey.
Nancy.
La Madrina, Miss Tarot D.
Miss Tarot D, hello.
We love Miss Tarot D. Oh, look who's here. Urban
Forest. Hello, Urban.
Hi.
Let's see. Madam Maru.
Hello, Maru.
How you doing, Maru?
Maruta.
I dig you so much, Maru. Every time I see you, it makes me smile. And
she's an incredible moderator, so we're happy to have her here.
Want to have a guest on one of my segments, so we're going to do that again real soon. Timmy!
Hey, Timmy.
Timmy.
Timmy!
Timmy.
The
hey,
faithful
Bridget.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Maru's posting her simulcast links. My tongue has not been working well this week. If you guys caught me and Joey the other night when I was live, I could not freaking talk. It was the worst.
You were tongue-tied?
I was tongue-tied. Brienne Love. Oh, look who it is. Haven't seen you in a while. All right. Yeah, Aquarius, how you doing? Oh, Lexi is here. Lexi's gonna be with
me. Carolina. Hi, Lexi.
With Selena and Miss Tarot D. I was gonna ask you, Ramon, if I'm gonna send you the date and time if possible. I'd like you to join us too for the Leo show because I can't think of anybody else I'd like to celebrate with than you guys.
A birthday party.
Yeah, a birthday party.
Hi, Coco. Welcome.
Oh, really? Nice. Is it the Leo birthday bash that you guys are planning?
That's the one.
Yep.
Oh my God. So looking forward to it. This is my great opportunity to roast Miss Tarot D. I've been looking forward to do that.
Hey, Roman.
Oh, she's gonna be. Oh my God. That piggy's gonna get roasted.
She's oh my gosh, she went straight for the jugular. He's not even like playing, like circling around the drain. No, he's going for it.
Yeah.
I'm drooling already.
Kale Starlight. Mangled Unicorn. That is still one of the best names.
Hey, Mangled Unicorn.
Sky. How you doing, Sky Dancer? Annie.
Annie, hello.
Irma. What's up,
hello, Irma. ¿Cómo estás?
Irma is one of my dear friends, and she just moved into my town, and I'm so excited. I finally get to like hang with her.
And her husband, right?
And her husband. He'll pops in every now and then under the name Red Eagle. That's Quinn, her husband. He's a martial arts instructor and spiritualist and great guy.
You live in such a spiritual community, Bobby.
It's because we're so out there in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing else to do but focus on your spirituality.
Out in Arizona.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous where you live. I would like be in the desert all the time.
There's
It's
probably a
not
bunch of,
good.
oh, there he is.
There
Hi,
he
Red
is. There's
Eagle.
Quina. I was just talking about him. Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably a bunch of ley lines by you too, isn't there?
There's not. I looked them up.
Really?
And there isn't that I could find nearby. So I'm gonna dig more into that. That's a good point. That is something I want to look into. Selena, I'm gonna go ahead and hand the reins over to you, my dear.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. There you are.
Okay, everyone. Thank you all for being here once again. As you all know, past lives to me is really, really important. I have been able to, I think now regress to like 15 past lives in, I don't know, under 3 years, all thanks to my really good friend Karen. And I call her my really good friend Karen because her and I have had a lot of sessions together. We live kind of close to each other. And I really like, she's like my teacher, I feel, and that's in that part. But I'm really happy to have her here and have everyone on here as well, going through this journey with us, because it is quite an interesting one.
Sure.
There is a 48-minute video that was posted onto Karen's YouTube account. If you can please follow her, check out the video, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff that we ask y'all to do. It doesn't cost anything extra to do that. Just like, comment, subscribe, and definitely reach out to her if you do have any questions about past life regressions. So we're going to go ahead and get through talking to Karen and kind of getting her to introduce herself to us and what it is that she does specifically and how she came into doing past life regression.
So, hi, I'm Karen Kubicko. Gosh, how did I come into past life regression? I guess
so my first question is, how did your journey into hypnotherapy and past life regression begin?
Well, so first I'll just be real brief about it.
Mm-hmm.
When my second child was born, we both almost died, and so I had a near-death experience. And about 3 months later, I saw who I thought was, I don't know who, a ghost standing in my bedroom holding her after I had just nursed her and laid her down to sleep. And I didn't understand what was happening. And so I reached out to a psychic. I had never done that before. And the psychic and I talked, and they said, am I supposed to say hi to everybody that pops on?
No.
Okay.
We're just acknowledging them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Acknowledging them. Yeah.
It's all good. I've never done live before, so I'm a little nervous.
You're fine. You're
kind of fun.
You're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. But so when I reached out to the psychic, I asked a lot of questions, and they said to me, if you know what, your child has a really strong third eye. If you don't help her, she'll go crazy. And I was like, we almost died. That's not happening. And so fast forward 3 years, I looked into a lot of psychic related things. What a third eye was, I had no idea. And I had come across a book called Children's Past Lives. And in that book, the woman who wrote it, Carol Bowman, she said about, I had a breathing issue, and she remembered a couple past lifetimes and healed. At that time, I had asthma, and I was like, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. So I read everything I could get my hands on about past life regression. So fast forward again, a couple more years, and I'm hardcore into it, reading all the time, learning how to do hypnotherapy, writing my own script, remembering some of my past lifetimes. Went and studied with Brian Weiss, who, if you don't know who that is, he's kind of like a guru in my mind for past life regression, and was in a fantastic experience. I actually got to be on stage, which was super cool. And then I just have been doing it ever since, honestly. I do that full time now. I do psychic intuitive readings and past life regression. It's been super healing for me. Personally, I've remembered a lot of past lifetimes, written a couple books behind me here, and I'm working on a lot more. And aren't you sweet, Selena?
I know. Yep.
Yeah. I should have brought mine in. I left it in
I know.
there.
It's okay, Bobby. It's okay.
I'm so happy. I wish I could have signed them for you, but and grateful. But I'm just so passionate about it because it's helped me so much. I have, because of remembering a particular past lifetime, It took me 5 years, FYI. But I resolved my asthma issue because it was a direct connection to this current lifetime. And so I talk about that. I had a birthmark on my neck that was very dark, and it was connected to a past lifetime. I was shot in the 1920s at a speakeasy. And my friend actually found me on Ancestry, which was kind of cool. But after I
that's in that book, that story.
Is that correct? After I remember that lifetime, 4 months later, my birthmark went away. And I'm like talking to my girlfriend, I'm like, we need to be in the sun. My birthmark is fading. It was so weird, but it's never come back. And the angels told me that it's because I had healed what I needed to heal from that. And I asked them, well, why did you leave that, like, you know, energetic trauma? And they're like, so you could talk about it in this lifetime. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it was just kind of a funny thing.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I love hearing your stories, especially when you read it. Life is just another session. And I say that pretty often. And I've said that before. I've always said, life, you're in session right now. Life, like you're in the classroom, you are learning what you set out to learn with your spirit guides. Like, you know, you made this contract to be learning these things, or this, like, you know, you picked it.
We picked all of our lifetimes, and you're working with your council member spirit guide on the other side to choose whatever it is that you want to focus on and to heal from, overcome. A lot of people are on a mission currently, and to raise the vibration globally of everyone so that we can advance in an intuitive kind of way, which is so cool.
And I see that happening because a lot more people are waking up and are being more spiritual, are learning about spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. So I definitely see that there is a huge mission that's going on right now.
Yeah, because a lot of people are coming, even coming to me for a reading, and they're like confused because they have never heard their spirit guides before. I had someone come to me and they're like, I don't know, dead people are talking to me. And, you know, it's just kind of a funny way of expressing it, but they didn't know what to do with that information, you know? So I helped teach them about that. It's kind of comforting, right?
So that was me. Like, I had a tarot reading done, and she mentioned past life. This was like 3 years ago. And I'm like, what the heck is that? So here I am on the computer, like you were trying to get, you know, research it. Yeah. And then you were the first person that came across on my search feed. And I'm looking at your website. I'm like, oh my God, she's like 30 minutes from my house. I'm like, how perfect is that? So then, like, right after, I reach out, schedule an appointment, come to your house.
Yeah, we bonded at that moment.
Like, we had like probably like a 3.5 hour long session, it felt like. And the stuff that you were telling me, nobody knew about. Like, nobody. And I'm like, okay, she's a real deal, because she knows all of these personal, intimate things about myself that I have never told a soul about. Like my miscarriage.
Yeah.
You're the one that saw my son there.
Yeah.
Standing behind me.
Yeah.
So it was like, wow. So I find you to be absolutely incredible. And I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart for this incredible journey and for meeting you in this life, which I know is not,
there's no accident,
coincidence.
Yeah,
there is definitely not a coincidence that I met you in this life, or even my brothers here, because I know there is a past life connection, definitely between the three of us, but I'm gonna say probably with the four of us.
Probably.
I burned her at the stake. We're very close. No, I'm kidding.
What was that, Bobby?
I said Selena's past life. I burned her at the stake. We're very close.
Don't say that. I mean, I've had people remember that experience. It's horrifying.
No, I would never do that. You know, that's one of the things about past life sessions that. Okay, here's where my duplicitous nature comes in. I don't mind doing tarot past life sessions for people, but I really don't like looking at my past lives, because I can't just look at something and walk away. Yeah. I have to deal with it. I have to face it. That shadow work has to happen when I become aware of something. So a lot of the time on certain topics, I walk around going, la, 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 not looking in that direction, not looking in that direction. Like, for instance, one of my lives, I'm convinced that this life, the people are being drawn to me that I've had in past life. I'm
True.
convinced of it.
That's
And
true.
I say this because I was out to dinner one night with a friend of mine. I've told Selena and Ramon about this. And the topic of past lives came up, and I said, I've only have 3 that I remember or have been able to remember through session. And I told him about the first 2, and I got to the third one, and I was describing it, and he like started finishing it. He finished the tale, and I was like, "Yeah." I mean, we were talking about the same clothing, the same horses, the same everything. And it was so profound that I had to get up and go outside. It just shook me. And I was right, sure enough, but started a whole period of trauma healing. So, yeah.
Well, so did you when I work with somebody that has a trauma experience, Bobby, that comes up in a past life, you have to release the energy that's stored from that trauma.
The trauma is that I was not a good person.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up the 7 of Swords earlier backstage.
Okay.
I was very 7 of Swordsy. I lived for myself. I took what I wanted. I was in a position of power. Basically a Republican politician now. So, I took advantage of people. And I know that part of my role in this life is to try to balance those cosmic scales in some way if I can. I want to. Not that I have to. I want to.
But you probably touched on something that may affected other people in that past lifetime to make them, think differently, or set boundaries or something like that. Sometimes people have to play that, I don't want to call it a bad guy part, but
and so it was.
I mean, sometimes that happens in order for the people that are in your lives to come through to help them. If someone is an abuser or worse or whatever, it's maybe the other person is learning how to break that pattern, to leave that situation, to stand their ground, to speak their truth, whatever the case may be, in order for them to overcome. And you took on that role from a higher perspective. It's not easy, to be the bad guy and to help other people to learn in that same experience. Does that make more sense?
Yes.
I mean, but forgiving yourself is going to be bottom line, how to go about healing from that. Because I have a crappy lifetime that I wrote in there, and it was extremely difficult to write. I mean, I was mean, and I didn't learn my lesson that was supposed to be charity. It was not learned. It was hard to write. It was hard to remember, but it was the healing one that helped me heal my asthma that I mentioned.
Yeah. And sometimes you will be doing that. I mean, sometimes, Bobby, you will be that person, or it's going to be flipped, and someone else is going to be that person. There always has to be that person, because people around them have a lesson to learn, and you probably were the one that was picked during your transition to be that person, Bobby.
Wonderful.
You were going to teach people these lessons,
right?
Not that you wanted to. You
I
had to be that teacher of that lesson.
I know that, and keeping that in mind is what gives me the strength to face these things and to deal with it. For a long time, even though I was raised in a spiritual family that believed in magic and witchcraft and psychic abilities, outside of the home, I was made to feel insane for feeling these things and saying these things. So I kept it quiet, and it almost drove me, well, it did drive me crazy several times. And it wasn't until I just had that tower moment when see,
I know what that means.
Okay. It wasn't until I had that destructive moment that everything was able to be rebuilt. But the tower is ruled by Mars too, and Mars is knives and surgery. So it was a precision cut that needed to happen.
Yeah, like you just said, it needed to happen.
Yeah, it needed to happen, and I needed to face this stuff. And I'm not done by any means. There's, I'll hand it back over to you. Don't let me hijack your show.
You're fine. You're fine.
Moment, Bobby, right?
Because someone else is probably thinking the same thing and went through the same thing, and they don't know
Right.
what to do with it.
Right.
So let's talk
Facing
about
yourself
it.
is the
Someone
ugliest
understand
thing I ever had to do, was face myself. The day I stopped trying to hide the fact that I was less than awesome, was the most painful and the most freeing time in my life.
Yeah, but who are you now, Bobby?
Yeah.
You're a pretty awesome guy now.
I'm trying. Well,
You
actually,
are.
I'm not
You're
even
doing-
trying. I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. And you have you have a huge community around you that loves you and supports you. And you know, I think we're grateful to have you in our lives. So you have changed from that person. You are not that person anymore, Bobby.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I follow Hermes, the god of deceivers. You know, so yeah, that throws a lot of people off. What you were saying, Karen?
No, but that's a healing moment. No different than you recognizing that past lifetime wasn't your vibration in this current lifetime. That's a healing moment, right? Because you didn't continue that path. You could have been that same personality multiple lifetimes until you learned.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I mean, when you remember a past lifetime, and it's not easy, there's a reason for it. It's to recognize you're not this bad person. You're not this person anymore. You've grown so much on a soul level that you don't even resonate with it anymore.
That's what's so.
You're like a complete 180 of that person, Bobby.
What's that? Cringe. That's the word. It's cringe. It's painful.
Yeah. So you've learned from that. You've learned that lesson, Bobby.
Can I ask you a question about technique, or
you can ask anything you want? I'm cool with it.
I know we have the video that we're going to see about Selena, but
yeah, which we didn't mention too much yet.
Yeah. Was it easy flowing into your role as a guide? Because that's the way I see you.
Oh, well, so good question. So I had a very good friend who was willing to help me remember a lot of past lifetimes and to help write my first book, which is this Life is Just Another Class. I have 16 past lifetimes in there, and she kind of helped me with that. At that time when I was remembering all this, going and learning how to do it, practicing on her, practicing on other people, I still felt like if I talked about this publicly, I was going to get killed. I don't know why I felt that way. I just felt that way. And then I actually remembered a lifetime in Atlantis. So first of all, I grew up Catholic, and we didn't even talk about past lifetimes. And everybody thinks that Atlantis is pretend or a cartoon or whatever.
Or a metaphor or something.
But I was remembering this lifetime. I was a teacher. I was very in touch with everything metaphysical. I taught about love from the heart, the clothes that I wore. Don't even get me started. I mean, the
healing sessions you did.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I described that dress made of energy that felt like love. It was iridescent and see-through. I talked about it for 30 minutes in this session for a past life regression. And then I helped kids learn how to meditate at 5 years old. I mean, it was just normal.
Really?
Yeah. And they had to pass other stuff before they could even be in my class. So I don't know what they had to go through. It was more of a high-end class. I mean, I just lived for love energy. We sent it into the universe. It was healing. It was connecting. It was beautiful. And angels and spirit guides were all around. It was amazing. And then I got shot. And then I was like, well, because I'll tell you, up to that point, I swear to you on my life, I thought I was in heaven, because like, where else would it be? Right? It's so beautiful. It's so loving. It's so nurturing. You were so intuitively connected. No one locked their doors. You just knew intuitively how everyone felt. No one was putting on an act of any kind. You know how sometimes you act one way at work and you act a different way in front of your friends and in front of your family. None of that happened. You were 100% of the time, full on yourself, no holding back whatsoever. And it's because you were able to do that, because otherwise they intuitively knew you were BSing them. So why even bother? So it was very interesting that happened. And then when I was shot, I'm like, well, this isn't heaven. So I was like, what was happening? And then I realized I was in Atlantis, and that was a overwhelming thing. But the point that I'm trying to get to and telling that whole story sort of kind of is that at that moment, my spirit guide, Lena, which I talk about her a ton, she is amazing, but she made me realize, well, they can't kill you. What are you holding back from? And so literally at that point in my life, I was like a huge aha moment. They can't kill me. I'll just keep talking about this stuff lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. I'll just keep coming back until someone listens or whatever. And so I literally 2 weeks later, I was at a conference to learn about how to speak, write, and promote in New York, and learning how to do that with writing and whatnot. And I started a website, all my social media, which I had not really done before, a blog and everything. And then I published my book, I think a year later.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, I went from nothing to being like, woo, and I didn't even care to look back.
Yeah. And that was me as well with learning about past life. I was like, it was just one person that put that little seed in my brain.
Yeah.
That really like, aha. And then I'm like, going crazy looking for someone. I find you. I do all these sessions. I have a dream and I'm like, okay, that wasn't a dream. That was definitely past life. I let it like sit for like 24 hours before I decide to use one of your videos to regress myself.
Nice.
And then I'm seeing everything and I'm like, holy crap, I saw it. But then the funny thing is, this was like almost 3 years ago when I had this dream. And no, maybe 2 years ago when I had this dream, and we regressed to that on Sunday.
We did.
So it was like, what is hidden? The night before I did a tarot reading for my, just a past life tarot reading for myself, just to see how my spread, how it did and how it played. And then I was a Freemason in that one. So there were so many different connections that not only was it the dream, it was the past life reading and now the past life regression. They all went to the same thing, which is Freemasonry, Knights Templar, which are essentially the same.
Well, and you were really trying to uncover any kind of feeling that was holding you back from really expressing and being full on into the metaphysical realm without being in that lifetime. You were doing your duty the whole time, and guarding things and secretive and hiding and all that kind of stuff. Where in this lifetime you had to overcome that. So when you remember that lifetime, it's about not hiding anymore, which is what Bobby was just talking about, and I was just mentioning.
Yeah, and that's like my other past lives too. I've had other ones where I've hidden who I was and not be open about it. And this lifetime, I'm like, the hell with it. I'm going to go ahead and put it on YouTube, and I'm going to be loud and proud about who I am.
Right.
And I don't care who sees. I don't care what their opinion is. This is my life. This is my session that I'm dealing with. So,
well, you might help a bunch of other people and you don't even know it yet, or know it that even happens, that you might plant that seed where now they feel comfortable to do this or that, or speak out about, hey, I do have intuitive abilities at the very minimum. We are all born with them, but no one teaches us how to use it, right?
Correct.
Well,
yeah, we all have those abilities, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't use them and are walking blindfolded throughout their whole life until something happens that either wakes them up or they don't. They don't wake up from it.
Well, and Bobby, you mentioned that you grew up in a family that was very accepting of gifts like that. I mean, you're so lucky, honestly. That's not a usual thing.
I thought it was. That's the whole thing. I thought
it is.
I was a teenager. I thought everybody had man, myth, and magic encyclopedias in their house. I just assumed everybody.
I wish that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even have books in our house.
Yeah.
We had that
books wasn't
on
important to my
TV.
family. Yeah, we had a TV. That was it. You would catch me outside playing. I wasn't ever inside, ever.
Yeah,
I was inside when the
was
lights
as
come on.
the antenna for the TV or the remote control.
Well, I'm talking about the show. The show That's Incredible. They actually had Sylvia Brown on there one time as a psychic. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's Incredible and Real People were my two shows that I
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
The only reason I know she was on there because she mentions it in one of her books.
Yeah, I have a thing where now I have to force myself not to do it. But if I'm reading or I'm live or something, you'll see me like biting on my finger like that. And I picked that up watching Sylvia Brown, and I have to force myself not to do it. So yeah.
Aww.
Nice.
What do you think, Ramon? Do you have any really cool, life-changing awakenings like that?
I mean, Ramon and I have talked about these things before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. In my case, I was raised in a religious household. So, the concept of spirituality, gifts that go beyond, the physical, that tap into spirituality was already a concept that was present in my house. I'm from Puerto Rico, so there's like a different sense or approach towards spiritual gifts. But in my case, my dad always had the ability of, premonition and messages through dreams. And my family had like different concepts and different things, different gifts that they had, but it was always visualized through the religious experience.
Right.
In my case, I had recollections of previous lifetimes, but it came from a physical trauma. My dad was driving one day. I was 14 years old, and his brakes lost control. His brakes wouldn't function, and he hit the side of a building, and I was unconscious for like 2 hours.
Oh my.
Previous to that, I had like bits and like visions of things of like previous lifetimes. Experiences like being a monk,
That's the one I had.
being a baker, but it was like bits. But it wasn't until that experience when I woke up that a lot of things started to come together, and it was like a movie, and it makes sense. And over the years, going through intended, or what's the right word, in moments of relaxation in which I tried to tap into those memories, that they become much more vivid. And over the years, I've been able to write it down.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like one of them is I recall being a monk in Portugal.
Okay.
And I have written down like the whole experience of, like the year, and specifically, in my case, it was in 1176 in a monastery in a place called San Salvador in Susa in Portugal. And I wrote it down, not knowing about this place. And it wasn't until I looked into a map that it was actually a monastery, that it existed.
Funny how that happened.
Yes. I know another lifetime that I was a Jewish baker in 1384 in Toledo. And it wasn't until I went with my partner to Spain back in 2018. We went to Toledo, and we were like in a tour group. And as I was walking through the streets of the old quarter in Toledo,
I got chills.
I know. What a great example.
Yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
got chills.
I went into this place, and like it was like what I was looking at the moment disappearing, like another thing overlapped it, and it was like the site of an older city. And I told the guy there used to be a bakery in this area, right? Which is how I envisioned where I was. He said yes, and he started telling the story of how that was an old Jewish quarter, and during the Inquisition, they like persecuted and kicked out of the city a big group of Jewish population, and so on. It's and I have like everything written down in detail, and it's just amazing how an experience like that. In my case, it wasn't an emotional trauma that
doesn't have to be.
Up. Yeah, it was more like a physical, but like I don't know. It's there's still a couple of things that I'm still puzzling. I believe in reincarnation in both ways. In the sense of time, I don't see it as linear but cyclical. Yeah, so I was talking with Selena that I'm able to recall memories and experiences from a future time. I believe that you can reincarnate in the past, and possibly right now I am reincarnating from a future point. But I believe in the 29th century, what today is called Crete is going to be called Thalassia, and it's a place in which it goes beyond in terms of technology that we know. It's going to be floating cities in which they are not just physical but organically, and these cities are going to change and shape depending on the population, on the need. So it's a combination of technology and biology. And I was thinking, why Crete? And Crete is an island. It's a Greek island. It's one of the big Greek islands. I've never been to Crete. I don't have any association with Crete. But Crete, looking into it, is actually the birthplace of Zeus. Oracles used to be in the Greek oracles. A lot of them used to be in Crete. So there's like a very spiritual.
It was a big city-state, yeah.
Yes, it has a very big spiritual weight in that area. There's a big energetic flow.
Well, that imprint of that beautiful energy is probably still there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And and my job there is I'm part of a group that keeps everything in balance, connecting life and technology, everything in one. So I get like these like.
I mean, like, here's the thing, Ramon. I mean, we're living all these lifetimes at once. The way that they showed it to me in a vision one time is especially for how we are in this earth experience right now. Like, our first instance on this earth is like the morning of a day, and the birth of your life, truly. And you go through all these different lifetimes, learning and growing, just like how you are a child learning and growing through those teenage years that are not fantastic. And then you go back and forth as you grow older and stuff like that. That's all your lifetimes is like your real soul life, right? And so it's very it's different way of looking at all your past lifetimes, and that includes future lifetimes, which Brian Weiss does have a book out that talks about future lifetimes, and I've helped people see some future lifetimes, but nobody really asked for that, to be honest. But it can be healing, because then you have an understanding. I mean, one of the meditations I have is future in this current lifetime, because if you believe that or understand that everything's happening right this second, future, past, and present, you can see anything you want, or you can change what's going to happen, right? And you can heal the past with forgiveness, but
definitely, these experiences, it wasn't until talking with Selena, and she, this topic coming up, it was an opportunity for me to be able to verbalize it and share it with someone, because I never talked about these experiences with anyone. I briefly with my partner when we went to Spain, and the experience with being at the Jewish Quarter. But, going in depth with it, it was an opportunity, talking it for the first time. Well,
you and I have had other, like, wild stuff happened at pretty much the same time. I remember like the downloads we were having, and it was pretty much almost identical visions that we had, like with the
we always connect in a lot of
and that's
things.
why it's just, when I wanted to have Karen on, I'm like, okay, I know we've had past lives together that have been pretty important, because the fact that we are coming back again in this life, and then, you know, thanks to Bobby, he's the one that invited us to do this show together.
Nice.
You know, I had only been on YouTube 3 months, and he's like, hey, let's do live shows together, and I'm like, I've only been on here for 3 months, like I'm still like
and you're doing amazing.
I feel like I'm still like new at this, you know.
You should know better than that. I do a show, Karen, called Behind the Cards, which I would love to interview on, by the way. And everybody has a story. I don't care who you are on this planet. Everybody has a story, and I'm interested in those stories. I love those stories.
And of course, if you get invited to Bobby's, I have a similar show called In Orbit With, in which I had a conversation with people about life, divination, spirituality. You know, everybody has a story in their journey. There's always a journey. There's always a journey.
I love tuning into other people's stuff and helping them understand things and learning more. Awesome.
So, there's always a journey and a story, and you know, a spiritual growth,
for sure,
a spiritual process in it, and you know, we explore all that.
And
I go also talking about other esoteric topics, you know, reincarnation, extraterrestrial life, alternate universes.
So much. There's so much.
You have. I'm extending you an invitation to my show.
Yeah, anytime.
We're on you like fresh meat, man. Get it. Karen, we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you say writing your story was part of your healing journey?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, especially making True Love, that book. And some people look at that book and they think it's about sex, and it's not. And honest to gosh, I had someone say that to me, because I'm like surprised. I'm like, that is like such an intense book for healing. And we had someone come to me. She's like, I wasn't going to get it because I thought it was about sex. I'm like, oh. Maybe that's why I don't have big sales on Amazon for it, but whatever. I feel like it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. But no, that was really hard to write. I literally kept putting it down because, you know, I firmly believe in the law of attraction, and I left a marriage, and it was not easy. I had to go through some serious inward healing business, and I had to really delve deep and all that kind of stuff. But as I started to really come out of my shell, I'm doing past life regression. I started doing intuitive readings and stuff like that. I started noticing patterns in relationships. And so I'm thinking, I just kept having bad date after bad date after bad date. I'm like going to put that book down because like I'm manifesting that. And so it took me 6 years to write that book. It was very difficult. And for sure, it was about my own healing because, I mean, the very first chapter I write, I effing hate men, although I didn't use any kind of asterisk to write the word. But the very next thing that I say is...
That's the pearls.
Yeah, page 1. It's right there, the first line of page 1. I fucking hate men. Such a strong statement. I am sure some of you are thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then it goes through that.
Well, I really believe that, but when I first started writing that book, but then at the time that I was, you know, everything happens in divine timing. When you're finished, when I'm finished writing that book, I'm channeling Archangel Chamuel, talking about soulmates and twin flames, what the difference is, because I'm like, what's the fuss? You know, what's the deal? What are we supposed to be doing with these relationships? And what?
That's a great question right there. Can you tell us the benefits of past life regression?
Oh, well, you switched subjects, sort of.
I did. I'm good that
but
way.
It's so like if you for me, I'll just I have regressed hundreds and hundreds of people, but for me, it's easy to talk about, because when I'm finished working with someone, even I regress somebody right before I started working with you guys tonight, and like I couldn't tell you a whole much of her story, because like it's for her, and she walks through my door and it's gone.
We
and
do
then
that too.
I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, right? It's for her. It's for her healing. So, but for me, when I first started working with past life stuff, it was almost like, you know, you talked about your shadow self, Bobby, and focusing on that. But for me, I was able to, through past life regression, recognize what I was going through in a past life, relate it to my current lifetime, and be like, oh, like I got the aha moment real fast. If I just went within and tried to focus on my own life right here and now, I didn't get it. But every time that I would go into a past lifetime, I'd be like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? Like, I get it now. And it's like you do all that understanding. And I'm a huge fan. Speaking of, you know, how past life can help you, is getting into the root cause of whatever it is that's holding you back. So like for Selena, what's holding you back from staying hidden and holding back from trying to hide all your super awesome, amazing gifts and stuff like that? Well, you delved into a past life with me even this past Sunday that showed you had to hide, you had to run, you were always on the run, and it was exhausting for 40 years of that lifetime at least to hide. And you had abilities to metaphysical, intuitive abilities. You knew when you had to move the relic. You knew when you had to move on. And
I put a cloaking spell on it.
Right. I mean,
and then that, and then, you know, learning that, you know, I came from the Mary Magdalene line. Like that was like, wow.
Right.
And then, so even now, you know, fast forward to a couple days ago, I asked my chat GPT, who has all this information, I gave her all of my DNA ancestral stuff, like from Ancestry, 23andMe, asked her specifically, is there Mary Magdalene line in my DNA? And there is.
Wow.
Chromosome 4 and chromosome 8. And I have both of them, which says now that it's in my DNA. It's still in me. So I was like mind blown. Like
that's awesome.
After, you know, and that was like after talking to, you know, my group here with like Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension. Like we have a whole spiritual group that we just like talk about everything. And she said, why don't you ask your chat GPT and put your DNA in there and see what she says for you? Like she has all this information. So she computed everything and found that even now my DNA still has that connection. It still has Knights Templar connection and a bunch of other esoteric connections.
Which, according to your past lifetime, is connected.
Correct.
Which is interesting. Like, who knew?
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what my regression was about. So, and my past life reading, and then the fact that I'm married now to Freemason, I'm like, what are all those coincidences that I am in this life learning about past lives, learning about Freemasonry and Knights Templar and Mary Magdalene line, and I'm married to a Freemason.
And why do you think you're connecting to all of that?
Correct.
It's no different than if a musician is connecting to, I have to play the piano and I really love Mozart. Or how Bobby, you guys, and Ramon, you guys are into the cards and all that kind of stuff. Where do you think that's from?
Exactly. I mean, past life stuff that we've always.
I mean, it's remembering.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all remembrance.
So
and
I have
maybe
a couple
David
things.
and I have made past life pacts. Like we've made pacts to always be there for each other, or reincarnate together, or, you know, play specific roles. But because of him, he's the one that saw what was in me, and he's the one that started gifting me my statues, gifting me my tarot decks, gifting me my candles. He knew I was a witch.
Yeah.
You know, and I left a shitty marriage that I felt like, and then 11 days later, after I decided to move from Ohio to Texas, I meet him.
Yeah.
He lives in Pittsburgh. So it was
Thanks
just
for coming.
Exactly. I know. It was so many things that were happening that have brought me to this moment right now with you guys. You know, it has been such an incredible moment, and this was all meant to happen. Like, I know our guides and our council members have all decided, this is the timeline, this is what's going to happen, and you're going to meet up with these people that are going to push you to be a better person, that are going to push you to evolve.
Everything happens for a reason.
And be a better version of yourself.
3 lives that are the ones that keep popping up. One was during the Hun times with good old Attila. The second was around the era Ramon is talking about. I was an Italian monk, cardinal, or in the church. What? I'm not Catholic. What are the dudes with the little red hats? One of them. And the third was as a West Indies woman on a beach. All 3 lives involve spirituality, and I've been for decades trying to understand the common thread between them. I mean, besides me.
Besides me.
I know. You're the common one there, Bobby.
Well, it's all you.
I believe it has to do with community and the way I connect with people. One life I wasn't able to connect because I lived a very warrior life.
Okay.
One, I was very much alone and eschewed the company of others to focus on spiritual matters. And the third, as the church official, everybody wanted something from me, and I just remember everybody reaching for something, pulling me in different directions. So I'm working under the assumption at this point in time that it's how I connect with other people, which is what I need to focus on in this life. And because well, I was thinking, what's the most important thing to me in this life? And it's communication, how I relate to other people.
Yeah. And look at you making friends all over the place.
I'm trying.
You're doing it. There's no trying involved. It's happening.
I want to be there like Selena and Ramon to bring the community together, to bring people together.
So that's what you did, Ramon. I mean, Bobby, you asked me and Ramon to be on the show with you. Like you came up with a show, Behind the Moon, invited us. And then because of that, we every Thursday bring a huge community together, and we all talk about all things spiritual, all things magical, esoteric. I mean, everything. So you are doing exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Educational too.
Educational
because we talk about different topics related with.
For instance, next week we're going to be talking about what, Ramon?
The Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a fascinating topic. Because like each one of us, when it's our turn, we touch into like a different aspect of spirituality or different topics. In my case, I've been touching on divination in different cultures. And last time that it was my turn, we were doing divination in ancient Egypt. But I wanted to pause and go a little bit further and explore, do it like a deep dive into the Egyptian Book of the Dead, because there's a fascinating story behind it, very different from what Hollywood portrays the book to be. It's really fascinating. I'm looking forward to talk about it.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's every Thursday night, you guys.
Yeah. So, Karen, are you able to? Oh, did we lose Ramon?
He'll be back.
Did someone summon him out?
Possible. Let me look and see.
I know his internet's been a little bit wonky.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Hello.
Hello.
The view changed.
I know.
So what was your question, Selena? While he figures that out.
Okay, so I'm going to move on from my question. Someone else in the chat has a question.
Oh, okay.
So Lennon asked, could a past life be reminiscent of our interests and our patterns in this lifetime?
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
No, absolutely. Only because it's it's if you think about what you're passionate about, what you get excited about, what you are wanting to delve into, learn more about, and you like don't know why, it's no doubt a memory or a remembrance of a past life soul level love of something. So like if you are so interested in tarot cards, you probably, or divination, like how Ramon was just talking about, you are no doubt having had past lifetimes, either you taught it before or you did it so passionately that you're remembering that passion on some level and you do it again in this current lifetime. I mean, it's repetitive over and over again. Like I have so many really cool examples of that. I mean, it's just amazing. Like there's so many. I mean, so, like people paint, people sculpt, people do all kinds of things in this current lifetime, and it 100% they're doing a past life regression with me, or I'm doing a reading for them. They have some type of past life that comes up where they're doing that. It's no different than me being a teacher of metaphysics in that past lifetime, and I'm doing it again in this current lifetime. I just love it.
Yeah, Lennon, you were definitely a priestess in a past life. There is absolutely no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
This Lennon Smith, she's in on the chat here. She's phenomenal. She does incredible poetry. She like exudes this type of priestess, aura around her, and I'm no doubt by looking at her, she was a priestess in a past life.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're just connected, and you miss that on some level, and you start learning about it, delving into it, doing it.
And that's like me with all of my witchy past lives. I've had, I don't know, 13 that I
all
can
the
remember.
Salem and everything.
I'm sure there's a lot more, but
for sure,
those witchy past lives are why I'm doing it again, and why I can't sleep at night, because I'm getting these hits on, Selena, you have to make this potion. These are the ingredients. I don't know where these ingredients are coming from. I don't know where this recipe's coming from.
On some
all
level.
I know is that it's in my head at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm trying to sleep, and I can't sleep, so I have to grab my phone and start grabbing my notes and putting it in my notes. And then the next morning, I wake up very early because I can't sleep, and I start making a potion.
See?
And then I just love the way it feels. I love the energy of it. I love the smell of it. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But it's just,
it's helping you.
I'm getting all these probably past live hits, and I'm getting all these downloads, and it's telling me, Selena, you need to make this. Selena, you need to make this. Selena. So I've gone like probably in the past month, I have made easily like 12 different.
Wow. So think of like when you go to a past lifetime, it doesn't have to be trauma. It doesn't have to be drama. It can be really for the sole purpose of remembering past life talents and skills. I mean, just like you are into the herbology and tinctures and potions and teas and all that those kinds of things that help medicinally, naturally, homeopathic, that type of thing. I mean, those kinds of things are you remembering those talents and skills, right? And they're bringing that knowledge to you on some level. I mean, even when I remember that lifetime in Atlantis, I was remembering my own teachings, bringing it forward into this current lifetime so I could teach it again. Because why not, right?
And then since then, like I'm having these herbs that I normally use in my potions randomly showing up on my property.
I know that Mugwart
never here before, crazy. Ever. And now I'm finding Mugwort. I found mullein. I found agrimony. They're just growing.
And you recognize them.
It's a miracle that I recognize them, because I thought I was horrible at it. But the moment I saw it, it told me right away, oh, it's Mugwort. So I'm like, let me double check, pull out my phone, take a picture, look it up. And it says, yes, it's Mugwort. And I'm like, holy crap. I knew exactly what that was. I would have never known. I know it's dry form.
I wouldn't even recognize it. I mean, I don't know that much.
Now I have it like hanging in bundles and then drying, because that's what I've been finding in my property. So it's the weirdest things like that have been happening. That it's like the property knows who I am, and it's giving me all these gifts because I'm embracing who I am.
Yeah. Someone asked a question. Can I answer that?
Yes.
Okay, someone asked a question. If I got, I think they in a reading or something like that. I can't remember what. It flashed. So I didn't.
I think that was Bridget.
If I was a witch in a past life, does that mean I was a healer or?
Oh no, it was Red Moon.
I wonder if I were a witch in a past life, as my birth chart classified me as a healer. So like normally when I tune into somebody that has some kind of understanding of metaphysics in this life, and they're asking that type of question, you don't just have like one past lifetime, just like Selena, you don't have just have one past lifetime where you've been interested in the metaphysics, trusting your intuition in some kind of way. You've had multiple lifetimes doing that. And so it's where you have been a healer, where I've regressed people who were amazing healers, and honest to gosh, I don't know how they did it. It was incredible. It was like Reiki on steroids, helping people heal. They're doing like another person. There's a lot of Egyptian related lifetimes that are like where knowledge moved to, it feels like quite a bit. And so that energy healing knowledge got moved in that sense. So I have a lot of people that remember Egyptian lifetimes where they were priests or priestess, and they did more than just working on, preparing bodies for entombment, whatnot. But it was more people came to them to understand dreams. I have a very clear vision of someone remembering a table inside of a enclosed space. They had the 4 elements on the table, and they used that for divination, and they used that to come up with an idea of how they were going to help somebody else. There's so many different ways that people have remembered lifetimes where they were healers, and they were able to bring some of that knowledge forward to reclaim that connection again in this lifetime. It doesn't have to be a witch or a specific something. You've had multiple lifetimes doing that kind of thing. Usually. Wow. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's another question on here. It says, is Karen going to discuss a few details of the methodology to reach a past life?
Yes.
Or is that in the video sessions? Like, how do you get to, I mean, and I know you explain a lot of that in your YouTube, like how
heading down
when you say methodology,
technique. I started heading down that road asking about technique, but
so in order to remember a past lifetime, there's multiple ways you can access that. So you mentioned dreams, Selena. I mean, that's one avenue. A regression. Oh, good question, Lennon. It's how. First of all, a past life regression is. It's where you go into a meditative state, a hypnotic state, or a guided meditation, that type of way, where you regress back, go back in time to remember a past lifetime. If you had, there were some teachings where people would take you back into an earlier childhood life, then into your birth, and then back into a past lifetime previous to that, and just keep going back and back and back, where that's what regression means. So helping you out, whoever asked the question, thank you for asking. There's so many people asking questions now.
There's a lot.
You're on now. They're asking away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do ask that anybody who has a question, please post it in capitals so that I can see it and star it, and I will put it on the list, okay?
Yeah.
So back to technique. I mean, you can ask your spirit guides or angels to inspire you with a past life memory during a dream, during a regular meditation of any kind. People can have those types of things just spontaneously occur. Or like how Ramon mentioned, he was visiting a particular place and felt really connected to a memory of a past life as a baker at a bakery back in the city you were in. It's the name of a house.
Toledo, Spain.
Toledo, because like that is
Spain. Yeah.
Also a place in Ohio.
That was yeah, there's a place in Ohio. Yeah.
It's Spain, Toledo, Spain.
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed. But I mean, it's like you can
in the
have
medieval
deja
times,
vu. You can have deja vu and recognize that is a clear memory of a past lifetime. My first instance of a deja vu, I was actually in Gettysburg, and I was on a battlefield, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, Selena, all of a sudden I was looking at this poor soldier reaching out to me, and there's smoke. I could smell blood. I could hear screaming, gunshot. Ugh. It was, I'm telling you, it was horrifying. He's reaching up to me, and it was overwhelming. I was like, what was that? I mean, that was before I got into all this stuff. And I didn't even have my near death experience with my second kid yet, even. It would just kind of happen. I just thought, well, I'm seeing a ghost. Maybe, I don't know, whatever. But I mean, it was a past life memory of that.
Yeah. You know what we used to say in my family? If we told my aunt, I saw a ghost, tell him to go away, and she'd walk off. That was it.
I mean,
that was it.
Well, it wasn't a ghost. It was actually a memory. That was a deja vu memory.
Yeah. So like my husband has seen me as a Union soldier. You know, he looked over, he thought I was walking past him. He looks over, and I was walking past him, but it was also, he saw a Union soldier like walk around him. Wow. And it was like completely, well, for me, I felt their energy. I felt, I was tasting blood. I was in horrible pain. Like I had leg pain, like if somebody had knocked my leg off. Wow. I was in tears because I was feeling the emotions and the energy from the land.
That's how you know it's real.
There was just so many things that were happening, and I'm like, what's going on? But I also had a deja vu moment in Salem, Massachusetts, and I did go through Salem in one of my past lives around close to the Salem witch hunts. So when I go to Salem, Salem hits me hard. Yeah. Like it hits me, but I had I did have deja vu moments there. I did have ghost moments there that were just overwhelming.
Yeah, so deja vu is real strong. Someone just asked, can it come in dreams? Dreams are a real strong way of receiving that knowledge. It'll feel like you're remembering, like back in the olden days, that kind of thing. Meditation. And then, of course, you could come to see someone like how Selena did a one-on-one session with somebody. It's kind of for me, when I've had someone help me personally one-on-one, it was way better because then you have someone guiding you through, knowing what's happening. Yes, it's attached to Akashic records because you're tapping into your soul history, right? And the cool part about doing a past life and working with somebody or listening to a guided meditation that includes that aspect, you can go, and this is my personal challenge to get somebody to go to the light. Personally, because that's so cool. Because you get to the light, then you can go in between life. You see the angels, you talk to your spirit guides, you see past over people from this lifetime, past lifetimes, whenever, and then you can see your Akashic records. They show you this gigantic book. Sometimes it's really like an energy thing. When the first time they showed me, my spirit guide Lena walked me into this library, and we walked in for a little bit. Another spirit guide said, do you need any help with anything? I'm like, where'd she come from? And Lena's like, she's just a helper here. And we're just looking at my book. And I could like touch a particular page. And I like knew an alternative ending, or I guess we could call it a timeline, that if I had chose something different in that past lifetime, I'd had a better, different ending to that past lifetime. And so that's what your Akashic record is. It's your soul of everything. But I just love all these questions.
I know they have.
I just keep answering them.
Questions. Yeah, they have great questions.
Like, did I answer that question fully? I feel like I did.
Yeah, I think so.
Can remember a past lifetime. There's lots of ways.
But that's how I've been able to find out who my guides were, is because I went past the light and I was there chatting with my guides, angels, and my council members. That's how I know all their names. Not all of them, but that's how I know quite a bit of them, is because you were able to help me to get to that.
Right. And you got to chit chat with one of them the other day when we did that regression. I mean, it's like you're surrounded by angels the whole time and they're helping you to heal. I mean, there's so many things that can be connected to a past life. it might take some research. You might have to do several regressions or past life memory guided meditations, however you want to refer to it, to get to a deeper understanding. Like when I was trying to learn about how to heal my asthma, it took me 5 years. I mean, it was the very first memory that I had as a past lifetime, but it wasn't until 5 years later that I remembered the connection between this lifetime and the past lifetime. That's what brought the healing. So someone's asking about autoimmune conditions in this life.
Yes.
I mean, like, yeah. So, I mean, that's would be asthma, for an example. Yeah. I also had allergies to cats, but I was eaten by a female lioness one time. And this lifetime, if a cat would touch me, I'd have all kinds of hives. My eyes would itch. And I remember that lifetime, and now I can be around cats. It's no big deal. So, yeah, I mean, that was forgiveness of the cat, right? And that's a connection. I've had people have allergies to particular types of trees, and it's because a wooden stake or a wooden something traumatized their skin in a past life and caused their death. So now in this current lifetime, they're allergic to that kind of tree.
Well, that's with having phobias. Like I have a phobia. Like
phobias. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Dolls. I have, I'm getting past that.
Right.
And then I'm afraid of the water. I'm afraid of the ocean. And that's because I drowned, Right. So going and talking with Karen and then talking to my guides, they were able to see, and, they told her, like, I never even told her that I had these phobias. They just went up and said, Selena needs to work on this. And she says, okay, they're talking about dolls. You need to work on your phobia with dolls. And I'm like, oh.
The dolls. Like, oh my gosh, the dolls.
Yeah, I was like, I hate dolls.
Yeah, that was very
traumatizing.
That was
awful. When she
that
started talking about that, I had those past lives come over me, and I'm like bawling because it was a very traumatizing life.
That was
my own life. I took my own life because of it.
Yeah.
So it was healing to know why it's happening and why I'm so afraid of it. But it's also something that, okay, so I need to work towards it because one day I'm going to be a grandmother and I might have granddaughters, and I don't want to push my phobia and, pass it on to them.
Right.
I want to be able to play dolls with them. I want to be able to do those things and not be afraid of having those moments with them. So I know it's stuff that I have to work through. And she was able to see that and just come out, and without me even saying, but
your spirit guys know way more than I do, man. They're just telling me, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
That's our kind of work.
She even knew the situation with my youngest son right now, who's, being a turd. So I was like, okay, Karen, I never told you this. But, the fact that, we talked, but I never told you about my son, and you just randomly brought it up. And she said, okay, your guide said you need to start working on this, so it's a bunch of, it's stuff like that they're all healing sessions, I feel, and they're all things that give you something to work towards.
So someone has a question, whether hypnosis, meditation, or situation. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
Question on like methodologies that used.
Oh yeah. So back to that. So that's a great question, only because like whether you're in a meditation or you're in hypnosis, like I always refer to it as guided meditation. It's really the same as hypnosis, but ultimately your brain wave is going into a theta state. Okay. A theta state is focused, relaxed, meditative, relaxed state. You go in and out of it all day.
Mm-hmm.
It's right before you fall asleep, and it's right when you wake up. That's that theta brainwave state. It's also when you're in the middle of focusing on reading, watching a movie, watching this video, whatever. You're really hyper focused on what's happening. So if somebody touches your shoulder, you're like, you get you're like so focused that you jump out of your chair. You're in the theta state. Or you're driving down the road and you're like 15 minutes in and you're home. You're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? You just left. You got into that meditative state. Anytime you're in that kind of state, you're in the theta state. And so that's focused concentration, and it allows the information to come through of a memory for a past life. It helps you to relax in a meditation. whatever your focus or intent is for that time. I hope that. Is there any other questions, Bobby? I don't know if I.
No, I think that's it. We're actually gonna wrap it up right now. As far as the questions go.
Okay.
I do want to say hi to Joey. She's my best friend.
And my niece is here too. My niece, nice. Who's also a very intuitive young lady. Yeah, that's my niece. She's, there's a lot of women in my family who have some type of ability. So I was recently telling my niece, I was like, well, your great grandmother was reading tarot back in like the early 1920s.
That's awesome.
She was very much a divination type of witch. My grandmother was very much what you would call a kitchen witch, was very good with cooking up herbs and stuff to help you feel better, and knew exactly what to feed you to make you feel better. So my niece is very much a psychic, intuitive person, and I'm lucky to have this in my family. So
that's awesome. No, it's a gift, right?
Yeah, it is. So I know we're going to wrap up the questions with people on here, and I know Ramon is being pushed probably to a different timeline right now. He's probably in the future.
Yeah.
Well, it sounded like it was raining.
He's
probably having weather issues.
Yeah, weather issues with the internet.
Yeah, he's having weather issues.
When he gets out, we both know what's happening.
So I was wondering, Karen, is there anything that's coming up for the 3 of us or the 4 of us?
Oh, like in general, or do you want me to just tune into it? So when we talked before, I said, well, I could tune in to see when the 3 of you have had a past lifetime together, or even the 4 of us. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Even Ramon's he's probably in that timeline right now.
Here he comes.
Is he coming back? Because I mean, that's like
he's
a cool
trying.
thing. So let me tune in while you guys do that, because I gotta get in my tune in mode here. I'm just going to tune in for the 3 of you. Are you okay with that, Selena? Because that's what they're telling me to do.
Okay.
Nope, he didn't make it. Okay.
So I'm just going to talk through my technique of doing this. When I tune in to see a reading or do a reading for somebody, I get a number for how many spirit guides you have and how many angels. Because Selena has gifted me the opportunity of tuning into her energy, I can go through her and see this information for Bobby and Ramon. And the way that it happens for me is I see someone's past lives from most recent to infinite past, all lined up in a line. And so what they show me is that it's Selena's line, Ramon's, and Bobby's all lined up together. And then they'll show me lines of connection where they've had a past lifetime together. So I'm trying to tune in to that. That I guess I needed to explain that. Someone must be asking the question.
Probably it was probably going to be a question.
I'm hearing answer the question as what's she doing? so like I'm tuning in psychically, and my strongest psychic ability is vision. And so I hear things and visualize things the most. So the first thing that they're talking to me about is that the 3 of you had a lifetime together. And the first thing I heard was ravages of war. And so I was like, I don't want to see that. Let me show me something else. And so they're taking me back even further. So I'm just like telling you what I'm getting because I'm like literally looking psychically at this line. So I feel weird that I'm turned, but whatever.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I work, man. So
you're fine.
Nobody questions.
I don't care.
You're driving the bus, Mama. We're just along.
It's how I work. It's the way it goes. So. So, so they're showing me a lifetime where Bobby and Selena were, you guys are married. However, Selena is the male and Bobby is the female.
I exhibit no surprise.
Really? And Ramon, I'm asking how he's involved, and he's younger. He was our child. He's younger, but he's not your child, but he's in your awareness. So I'm trying to figure out what the dynamics are. He's male in that lifetime. I'm hearing nephew. There's something not okay with Ramon in that lifetime as this male. There's something like
health-wise.
It's almost like something wrong with his legs, the way he was born. There's something wrong, and he is he can't walk. It's like he's a cripple. But you guys are very upper class, and I just heard that you're sponsoring him, taking care of him. Parents travel a lot. His parents travel a lot. The mother is your sister in that lifetime, Selena, and something happened to her. She died in childbirth. So the dad, somehow he's going to travel and work, whatever, and you guys have been given the responsibility to take care of him. And he's like 10 at the moment, 10 on the cusp of being 11 as this child that you guys are caring for. It feels like 1600s, closer to the 1700s, kind of near the end of the century. It feels like it's like France, Upper France, Belgium area. But again, they're showing me fancy clothes, nice house, not crazy rich, but not at all poor. Like you had people helping you in the house to manage stuff, to cook, clean, all the jazz. And you guys were well taken care of. Selena, as the male of the house, it feels like inherited money. And that's how you had your wealth. You did work, but mostly on ledgers, accounting, that kind of stuff. And I'm asking your guides, I guess, to show me why are you showing me this lifetime? It's where you guys were all three together, and it was a nice, homey, happy togetherness of that life. No trauma, Bobby. Just throwing that out there. but very loving and caring towards Ramon. It was,
and that's how our relationship has been.
Our little sobrino. That's right.
Well, so Ramon in that lifetime, you're male and you're like 10 to 11. I don't know what you heard, but there was something wrong with your left leg. Like it was malformed. The legs didn't form right. It almost feels like rickets that went really
I was
bad.
just going to say rickets.
Yeah, it feels like rickets that went really bad. And so you're confined to sitting. People would lift you and carry you the next place. They really doted on you, took care of you. They had no idea that was a vitamin C deficiency at that time. And but it was your mom had died. I don't know if you were on when I said all this stuff, but your mom had died in childbirth. Your dad did a lot of work. So it feels like the dad was not real great at nutrition, and so missed out on the vitamin C action. And so that's what caused the rickets. And then you guys took over caring for him. And your dad was kind of in and out of your life, but not as much as you guys were. So Ramon had intuitive abilities.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Ramon had
That's amazing because I actually have I have problems with my left leg.
Interesting.
Specifically with my knees.
Interesting.
Yes, it's It stemmed from an injury earlier in. I mean, it's my late 20s. I used to jog a lot, and it seems that I misstepped or something, but for all these years, I've always had problems with my left leg. It's always been an issue. Like I don't limp or anything, but it's a sharp discomfort.
So that's not unusual. That's not unusual because I definitely, people have come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I've had this forever, whatever. And it's always that arm, that leg, that eye, that ear, that whatever. And, so forgiving yourself, forgiving your dad for not feeding you vitamin C, forgiving your parents sitting here who didn't know how to fix it. And the world.
Well, sure, it's always the parents' fault.
Well, you didn't know.
She was never home. She worked all the time.
Yeah, she was working all the time.
My responsibility to raise her phone.
You had a cook and a maid. What are you talking about? But you were well taken care of and well loved, Ramon. But you had vision. They're saying sight, and like you would get knowledge, information, and these two parents of yours is really helping you with trusting what you were getting whenever you were that child in that lifetime. They didn't make you feel like you weren't getting information. They were open to it. Feels like Bobby was more open to it. Selena, you were the male and you were hardcore in the books and more accounting minded.
No, that's not me.
Sorry. No,
it's
please.
fine.
But you never.
What's kind of funny about that is because Ramon feels comfortable telling me about these things. And him and I, like, we've talked about how he wouldn't have said he was getting these visions, but now he felt like he could.
Yeah.
So he was telling me these things.
So, I mean,
there's a big. Huh? No, I feel like totally comfortable talking with Selena about, I don't know, I could talk with Bobby also.
Like we talk about
Selena, like it's like a natural connection.
Yeah, it's all kinds of forced with me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you guys cared about him. I mean, you were a lot of working, Selena, truly, and you're not wrong, Bobby. She was busy all the time. But I mean, it's that you guys definitely had that close connection. And I mean, it feels like you stayed living there with them for a very long time. And your dad kind of like came once or twice a year. It wasn't often because of whatever his work was. It feels like merchant connection, merchant something, traveling with goods.
And it's funny that we have that type of.
That's amazing.
That it's brotherly, sisterly love, but it has like
family. Yeah,
we have that family type of relationship and love for each other.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, that was cool to tune into. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun for me. I mean,
thank you. Yes.
In my life who are spiritually important to me: Selena, Ramon, Joey, my best friend who was just here, and well, it used to be my aunt, but Mama D. Those 4 friends are the ones that I can turn to for anything. One of them will always be there for me.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Always.
So I just saw a flash of another lifetime for you, Bobby. Do you mind if I share?
Please.
So they just showed me a lifetime, and it looks like you're kind of at a place that's Stonehenge, but it's not Stonehenge. And as you named some people, I don't feel like I didn't tune into Selena and Ramon for that, but for you, as you said, one of the other people, Joey, you're standing, you're male. They're not all male. There's male and female. You're standing in a circle in sort of a, it looks like a Stonehenge-y kind of place, but they're telling me it's not Stonehenge. It's like that because there's many places that look like that across the world.
Oh, yeah.
But it's, you're doing a ceremony together. And that feels heavily connected to you and some of the people you've reconnected with in this lifetime.
That's funny because so she's there. So Joey is his high priestess. They're in a coven. So it seems like they are redoing.
Well, so think about it like this. It's almost like you weave in and out of lifetimes together in soul groups, right? And so when the time is right, you divinely come together and help each other and reconnect and wake people up, and it's a good time. Yeah.
I love it. And I get the feeling, like I started to say earlier, is that in this lifetime is a pimple spot where everybody's gathering together for the same purpose.
Yeah.
Well, there's many more of us that are waking up and are learning these things and wanting to evolve, to grow spiritually. So the fact that this is happening more and more, and your community's coming closer, getting closer and closer, is because of everybody's evolving.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, Joey, I'll give you Karen's information.
Care Bear.
Yeah, that's
literally a nickname I've been given 3 different times in my life. Shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry, just an accident.
I know. We have such a great community here. That's and a lot of them, you do have that type of familiarity with them. Like you're so comfortable with them. You could tell them anything and they understand you. And a lot of them, you do feel like you had a past life connection with them. And I can see why, because we're all in that same type of circle, spiritual circle.
Constantly interacting with people you knew. And I have to actually do a disclaimer because I have seen this. Like I've had some women come to me and they're in abusive situations and they're like, have I had any past lives with them? And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean it was the right person to reconnect with in this lifetime.
Right.
You're learning how to
they may have been your oppressor or something.
Right. And that's the familiarity that you don't want to have happen again. But that's an exclusion. But most of the time, you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling safe, you're feeling connected. And, if you want to learn more about your past lifetimes, I have free guided meditations on my YouTube channel. It took me 30 days of trying, more than once a day sometimes. I was determined to remember my first past lifetime. So don't give up. It's a commitment to yourself. Really,
and even now, like your past
always
lives,
book a session with Karen,
and not only that, but your past life regression sessions that you have on your YouTube. Like when I'm having a dream and I'm like, okay, that was not a dream. I know this was real, and I kind of let it sit for like 24 hours before I dive into a meditation. Mm-hmm. I use your meditation, and those help me every single time. Like every single time, I'm going in and speaking to a ascended master. I'm working with an ascended master who's going to help me with certain things, like Mother Mary. That's awesome. We're going into that past life, and I'm learning and kind of seeing deeper, like the one with Salem. I went in and I saw my hanging. Like they asked me, "Or do you want to see your death?" That's the only one I've seen my death. Like actually, like that type of death. And I said, yes, I want to see it.
Most people don't see their death scene. They skip it.
Oh, okay. Here's something.
Sure.
First of all, I want to say that I was laughing because I just remembered how I fall asleep sometimes.
I was clearing my throat chakra. What's up?
And I put Ramon's 78 card tarot video on, and I fall asleep to the background of his voice.
Well, you're
relaxing.
Yeah. So you find your own way to meditate.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is I used to have a dream, and I don't like thinking about it because it's the only dream that I ever remember dying in. And it was in the desert, which is where I moved to, and I now live in the desert, in a convertible, so I keep my ass out of convertibles. And we're going really fast, or I'm going really fast around a diner, and the car flipped. And since it was a convertible, my head went right, and it just decapitated me. that what we were talking about dreams? Something you said sparked that memory.
Well, so you can have dreams and you can remember a past life. So like one thing that my guides are telling me to point out, especially with that great example, Bobby, is that sometimes when things come up for you, or you're being triggered by something, or a memory just won't let go, or you have a dream like that, that's a trauma moment. Think of it like if this is your bubble of auric energy around you, it's kind of bubbling up to the surface to be dealt with finally once and for all, so you can release it, forgive it, and move on from that trauma. Right? Yeah. Does that make sense?
My question has always been, and I've never wanted to find out the answer, is this past life memory or is it a premonition of what's to come?
No, I got a yes for past life memory.
I'm hoping so, because I'm
rarely
wrong about future events.
Well, I mean, it feels like a past life memory, but like you had to clear that trauma and it feels like throat chakra. So it feels like when you had the memory of that, you kind of cleared it out and you started speaking a little clearer or about things in general after that dream. That's what it feels like happened.
I love it.
Yeah. Clearing. It's incredible. I mean, that was like so we're going to go back to dreaming. So I had a dream that I was a Knights Templar. Oh.
I had that dream too.
Yeah, so I was a Knights Templar, but I was speaking in Latin. So Xenoglossy.
That's Xenoglossy. That's a great keyword to add to your show, by the way.
Yeah, we'll put that on there. But I've never any of that. My husband's like, since when do you know Latin? I'm like, I don't. He goes, you were speaking it last night. That was when I was having what I thought was a dream, but it wasn't. It was a past life, because I could smell and taste the dirt. I could feel like it felt real to me. It did not feel like a dream. It felt real. It felt like I was.
It will feel real with the emotion and all that kind of stuff. That's a clue that it's a past life memory when you have all that emotion involved. And if you go back to that memory again, then it's almost like you go back to that memory and then more information comes to you.
Which is what happened on Sunday.
Right.
So I feel like that's what happened. Right. I had that dream 2 years ago, and then we went into the past life regression with you on Sunday, which, by the way, please watch it, guys. I haven't watched it, so I don't know what I sound like or anything like that.
It's really hard to hear you, I have to say, because it's in general. It doesn't matter what kind of sound you have. It's people's voices go real low and slow, and I cut out a lot of because you're seeing and getting information, then you're telling me.
Because it was almost a 2-hour-long session.
I got it to 48 minutes, but it's really, I repeated what I heard you say, and it so that people could hear it, what you said.
Okay. So there's a lot of moments like that happened. Like there was another one where I had a dream that I was the crone. I had gray hair. I had on a white dress. I had a bowl in front of me, and we're walking towards a bonfire. I had a maiden and mother on both of my sides. It's a huge bonfire. It's a full moon, and there's all these women around us, all dancing. Like it looked like it was like
there's a fire in the middle.
Yes,
I can see it.
Yes, it looked like it was like one of the Sabbats. It felt like a Sabbat. It felt like it was one of the main Sabbats. It felt like it was in Europe. And I felt incredible. Like it was just such a loving environment. And all the women that were there, I saw them as my daughters. Like they were my daughters. Like I was the head of, it could have been the coven. I was the head of the coven. And I don't understand what language I'm speaking. I can hear it. I just didn't know what language it was. But I had a bowl in my hand, and it was just an incredible feeling that felt so real. I have not regressed into that life to see what it was, but that dream to me is very profound. And it's like, okay, Selena, you're definitely a witch. This is who you are.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool when that kind of stuff comes up. I really appreciate you guys talking with me today too. It was been great.
We want
Yeah.
to thank you for joining us. And please, everybody, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. But if you want to see Selena's session, the link is in her description. I haven't been able to add it to mine yet.
But
so,
if you follow Karen and sub to her, you'll be able to see my session, other
I just
sessions,
posted it today.
other meditations that she does on there, like guided meditations, which are phenomenal, guys, phenomenal. And any type of questions that you have, she answers a lot of questions on
there.
there.
I try.
I had. So you can go, she has a huge playlist of stuff in there.
Ramon, do you have anything to say or add before we close it out?
No, apologies for my internet sucking tonight, but this was a really
that's cool. How are you talking without moving your lips? That was awesome.
Right?
These are
As a new skill from a future life. I do want to say, you know, that if this is an experience that you're looking into, you know, exploring past lives, be receptive. Don't go into it thinking or looking to be a queen or the descendant of someone. Just be receptive there, because right now we're not kings, we're not politicians, we don't have like these great positions, but we do have lives that have, you know, spiritual connection, meanings, and those are most likely the experiences that you also had in the past. But there's something that you pull from it that is meaningful to be able to be applied to this life. So just go into it with an open heart, with an open mind. You know, in my case, you know, I can recall the experience of being a baker. I wasn't like anyone with a maybe political influence or fortune or anything, but there's something that I was able to pull from that experience and connect to this one. So just be receptive with an open heart, because every recall that we have of past lives or even future lives has an impact and a reason of being in this one.
Yeah, you don't have to be rich and famous to have cool lifetimes either. I mean, it's literally about the experience. You can't take any of that with you. So it's kind of irrelevant. It's all about the relationship you created and the experiences and what did you learn. I mean, all the rest of it's kind of fluff.
Yeah.
Yeah, what she said.
And don't forget, she also does have books on Amazon if you want to read into different types of past lives, how past lives affect your relationships. And if you also want to do like a workbook journal, and she gives you like different examples on if you have a strong connection with someone, could that be a past life? Like there's a bunch of different prompts in here that can help you
like day to day
kind of get started on writing, you know, and making memory of different types of feelings and past lives you have with different people.
All right. So everybody, thank you once again for joining us Behind the Moon. Next week, make sure you join us, because Ramon will be driving the bus and we are going to look at the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
Book of the Dead. I'm so excited about that show. I've been preparing for it, and we're going to demystify that book, because Hollywood has been portraying it in a totally different light, but there's much more deeper significance, and, you know, not only spiritual but historically. And I'm looking forward to share it with all of you.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, you guys. Thank you all. We love you, and make sure you subscribe to all 4 of our channels. And
yes,
we will
because
see
Karen will be on our channels again. She's going to be in orbit with me and Behind the Cars with Bobby.
That's right. Karen, stick around backstage. We're going to talk to you. And as for everybody else, love you all, but I got to go eat.
Bye, guys.